to League Race here at racestation.net. This week, obviously, coming from Brazil, Interlagos, one of the, in my opinion, one of the better race tracks on the calendar. I'm your host, as always, Vernanator 1991, and this week I'm actually joined by Kyle, Kimi Räikkönen 84 from commentary this week. Hello.
Hi.
My normal commentator, Stephen, or SH Racing, cannot make it this week because he is injured himself, probably the best way of putting it.
The only way of putting it.
It's the only way of putting it. He's injured himself and he's currently laid up in hospital, hopefully listening to us, cringing at the fact that Kyle is currently commentating.
This is going to be fun.
This will be interesting. It's the first time Kyle has commentated, so don't judge too early. Last week we saw KO extend his lead in the championship. I'm just getting the league table up now so I can get those details for you. But it does mean that Madman is now in a position where he's having to effectively win the remaining races and hope that KO has one or two errors during the races to allow him to have a bigger points gap advantage per race. The points gap between KO and Madman is 14 points in KO's favour. KO on 334, Madman on 320. And also, McLaren can seal the Constructors' Championship today as well. They're currently 72 points ahead of Ferrari, with 86 still available. So they just need a decent result this week, and they've sealed the Constructors.
All KO really needs to do now is just close out the next two races. He needs to just make sure he doesn't take too many unnecessary risks and try and get the results.
Just got to play it sensibly.
Yeah.
Because even though the gap's 14 points, it does mean that if Madman wins both of them and KO comes second, they will both be on the same amount of points at the end of the season, but KO will win the championship on countback with the number of wins. So Madman does need to hope KO finishes somewhere other than second, first or second.
But I mean,
Madman to have any chance.
This track especially is one where, into places like turn 1, turn 4, especially on the first lap, you can end up losing a bit of front wing, especially if you go diving down the inside unnecessarily, and that kind of thing can ruin a race. So all the championship contenders will hopefully be trying not to go for any rash manoeuvres. Obviously KO would be in less of a hurry than anybody else, but you can't go in. You've got to go into these races now at the end of the season with the mindset of just getting the points.
Indeed, yeah. KO has that luxury of, I say luxury. He has the ability of knowing that he can just follow Madman. If he hasn't got that outright pace, he can just follow him home, and it won't do any damage to his championship whatsoever.
And it might be the case that he does that. It depends what his if his mindset is to win as many races as he possibly can, then he may try to just wait behind him and then just take an advantage whenever it's thrown upon him, but he might not try and force the issue.
Yeah, indeed. So those who are joining us for the first time or haven't watched this for a while, just sort of remind people what happened. Basically, because we haven't got enough drivers today taking part for us to do the entire qualifying session. Main reason being is we haven't got enough drivers to knock out in Q1. They all put in their setup and then retire, and then we skip straight to Q2, which is what we're doing now.
This is where the real running begins.
This is where the action all begins. And because they're doing Q2, tyre strategy does come into it in terms of what tyre they would like to use for the start of the race. So those that qualify in the top 10 will start on the tyre they qualify using in this session.
Be interesting to see who comes out first. Who's that? Is that McLaren? Just seen pop out.
Normally, a Toro Rosso.
There's a Red Bull coming out and a Haas.
So it was a Toro Rosso. Soulman, and he's crashed in the pit lane exit.
It is a difficult pit lane exit here.
It is a very difficult pit lane exit. It's probably the most difficult, along with the likes of Abu Dhabi.
I've done a little bit of practice here already, and the game does give you control mid-corner, so you have got to kind of anticipate the steering angle before you get down to the right hand, or otherwise you will probably go straight on and probably knock a little bit of wing off, or maybe even a wheel.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for Soulman, he's knocked his wing, so he has to come straight back into the pits again.
The good thing is he wouldn't have used much of those tyres.
No. But it's one of the healthiest grids we've actually had in any league for the last few weeks.
Yeah,
it's actually quite
been
good to see.
dwindling a little bit.
It has been dwindling. We normally do get the end of season lull, where championships are close to done, or where people aren't able to challenge for anything, so they tend to lose a bit more interest.
In the F1 league, both championships are done.
C is in as well. I wonder if he's knocked his wing. We've got Callum. Callum's off in the middle.
Both
sector.
McLarens coming out in unison.
Ah, they always do that. They always come out together.
It's a bit
really
2x2 at the moment. Both Renaults are out together.
Right, I'm going to watch Matey Boy, because I believe he's one of the first to actually going to come around and set a lap. So he comes into turn 1.
KO leaves the pit lane. And Callum Rose has already gone off the track. Down at Junshao, he's pulled over.
Dave 1025 is selecting the medium tyre. Interesting choice. But Mate's Boys navigated to first sector. So far, so good. It's actually a good looking lap so far.
Coming up to some traffic now as they try and space themselves out to start their first laps.
Look, the car looks very, very stable and with him. Good omen.
It's a very traction limited track.
It is. Matey Boy on VW's retired. Has he crashed? He crashed in sector 3. He has indeed. He's crashed.
He's done a Paul de Resta.
Yeah. And Matey Boy is the first one to a 1:10.6. Actually, it's a couple of tenths quicker than J19. Imagine that.
Straight out on the super softs as well.
And here comes KO on the soft tyre. Now KO, what would he do on the soft tyre? Navigates turns 1, 2 and 3.
Ran a bit wide, he's backed off.
He's backed off it.
I think he got a warning.
Yeah. TLK's got traffic. Not sure if he's on an outlap or a fast. I think there's an outlap for TLK.
Looks like it. Find out when he crosses the line. Yep, he's just starting his lap now. Not in the best position with a Toro Rosso right in front of him.
Well, Dayton 25 was also on an outlap.
Manman goes fastest with a 109.5. And Manman retires straight away.
He's happy with his time he's done. But yeah, TLK has not done himself any favours here whatsoever. He needed to let him back off and allow himself some more space again. Because Dave is not entitled, does not need to move over.
No. He's on a flying lap.
Interesting choice going on the medium though for Dave.
Yeah. Maybe he's just trying to save.
He's normally the one who's gone onto the mid-range tyre for Q2, compared to where most others go onto the softest available. But first of all, seen him take the hardest option.
Maybe he's trying to save. Either he's trying to save up as many option tyres as he can for Q3 if he gets there, or and wants to go long in the first stint.
TLK is going to finish this lap, but it's only been a 1:11. 4/10 quicker than Dave. He was stuck
P7.
On that KO, right.
Callum Rose is going for another go, by the looks of it.
He's coming towards the end of sector 2 now. He's definitely still on it, so he's not invalidated his lap or made an error yet. What time can he do on a harder tyre compared to Madman? Remember, he only needs to be in the top 10. He doesn't need to worry about being fastest in this session.
I think that's the mindset some of these drivers will go in. They won't necessarily be trying to go for the fastest lap
Seconds
in the session.
1:09.6. Only 1/10 slower than Madman on the harder tyre.
And I believe it might be on, yes, Madman did his on the super soft. So
He did indeed. Yep.
let's see where Dave slots in P11 with those mediums, quicker than Salman on the super softs, but I don't think that was really the choice he should have made.
No, he's got one good thing about Brazil is it is a short lap, so they have the ability to pit and then come out again and do another lap.
Yeah, they could get 2, maybe 3 runs in depending on how early they came out at the start of the session.
Well, we've got a race going on here between the Red Bull and Toro Rosso. Shut up to turn 6. Toro Rosso backed out of it. Yeah, some of these guys are not leaving themselves enough space for them to get a clean lap in.
I mean, it is, as you said, it is a short track, so maybe there just isn't the space to be able to find it, and they're just having to make do with what they're given when they come out of the pit lane.
Yeah, you would potentially, but you would also like to hope that they will be aware of who's around them.
Callum Rose comes across line, improves on his time by 32 thousandths of a second.
P7, that's a good showing from Callum. Just instantly put down the P8 though. TLK improved on 1:09.9.
See who else is on the lap. Yeah, TLK's. Is he going to go around again? He is. Looks like it. Anyway.
Oh, Michael C is spun, and he's going to crash into the wall. He's not. He's destroyed his car.
This is Michael C. Where is he? P10 currently.
Yeah, he's got the hope that no one. But even if he does get into top 10, he won't be able to take part in Q3. No. The game won't allow him, so that's him out of qualifying, and he'll be starting 10th at best.
Still yellow flags in sector 3. Nope, they're gone now.
Gone. We've got VW who's already destroyed his car and he's been signed 14. Devil yet to set a lap. He's on his lap now by the looks of it.
TLK looks like, is he being blocked? I don't know if the Taurus in front of him is on a flying lap or not, but he's been sitting in front of him for a little while now. Don't think he is.
If it's a Toro Rosso, it'll be Soulman because Dave's in the pits, so it'll be Soulman in front of him.
Well, TLK's abandoned that lap. J19 improves by 0.2 of a second.
Devil spun. Devil spun at the bottom of the hill at the end of sector 2. And that's his lap room for the next one as well, because he's got a slow run up the hill.
Yeah, he'll have to just put it into lean. Well, he hasn't set a lap yet.
He's not set a lap and he is going round.
I think he's just gonna have to put it in lean for this lap, do a cool down, then go again.
So Dave 1025 has done his lap on the medium. He's come back out now on the soft. So he's wanting to do the alternative strategy.
He only has to find just under 1/10 of a second to get ahead of Michael C. And obviously he's on a much lower or softer compound of tyre now.
I don't think that was the best we saw from Michael C. I don't think we could see his best lap, and unfortunately, because he crashed out, we won't be able to. But the one person that I want to point out right now is Mike Whiteside. Up in
P9, yes.
He's got a very good opening to this qualifying. We'll keep an eye on Dave now. Just
see how he goes.
Turn 1. Just misses the apex of turn 1, but won't have lost too much time. He approaches turn 4. And here, I'm not getting any sectors, so I don't know if he's up or not on his time. He was wide though. He was wide in 4. He might have lost some time there.
He might have taken too many liberties into turn 4 on the way in.
Gets it slowed down for 8. A long turn 9.
Double apex it really becomes.
Yeah. Turn 10 is quite a late apex as well, to be honest.
The banking helps as well. You get a lot of grip from the small banking there is on that corner.
The banking helps you there. And turn 12 here is crucial to get the run up the hill. If you don't get the run up the hill, then you're lap ruined.
You want to straighten out as early as you can, but at the same time, you know if you do, you're going to hit the sausage curve, lose the rear end, and just ruin the lap.
David's going to complete the lap. He is going to improve. This will be a 10
by 7/10 of a second. P6.
Yeah,
that knocks
P6.
Michael C out.
Yeah, Michael C is out of qualifying. He can't improve because he's crashed his car.
Puts Mike Whiteside right on the bubble, and it started raining.
Oh, so it has. Oh, we might have a lull at the end of this qualifying session.
Well, it's only just under 3 minutes to go, so it wouldn't be much of a lull. It depends on how heavy it starts raining now.
Well, White's improved.
White's improved by 1/10 of a second to go P6.
So at the moment, the top 10 are split evenly in terms of who's using supers and who's using softs.
Yeah. At this rate, you'd have KO, TLK, J19 starting on the softs along with White and Dave, and everybody else on super softs.
Yes. And then those finishing, well, starting 11th through 14th can choose what they wish. And I am taking the assumption that the race start will be dry, considering that 5 of the drivers have used the alternative strategy.
It potentially,
I can't imagine why they would want to use.
Unless they know it's going to be wet until the end, and they want to save their super softs for when it dries out potentially at the end of the race.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see on that one.
I mean, starting on the alternate strategy does sometimes work. It depends on how much you sacrifice.
CLK has gone out again onto the super soft, so he might not be wanting to start on the soft arts for some reason. And
That's
again,
a big risk.
He's one for doing this quite often. He tends to go out again in Q2 when he's already guaranteed to go through. He's got to be careful, so if he crashes his car, he'll be starting 10th.
Yeah, it's not like he's on the bubble.
No, it's a very brave decision to do this, but the rain already looks.
It's the only one out on track.
There's already spray kicking off these the fronts of these tyres.
See how he does in sector 1.
How he's going to improve.
No, there's no sector time, so we'll have to wait until he comes all the way around.
17.4, that sounds alright. See, he's the only one out on track. Everyone else has either crashed or in the pits or retired.
It looks slower than most of the laps.
The track is not.
It's too wet.
It's too wet. He ain't going to improve it.
He's losing the back end every now and again. It missed the apex completely there. He's having to lift through that one there. Before the quadrigen shower, I can't remember what it's called.
This is not. I mean, it's taken him 1 minute to get to the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, I think this was just to. I think it just had to use that as data to explore what the track's like in changeable conditions. It's going around again.
Well, the quali's done. So, his car is having a crash.
Curved the wall a bit there. It's kept the wheels on it at least.
But yeah, Madden was fastest in that session, only by 600 from KO, who's on the alternative strategy at the start of the race. TLK third, J19 fourth, both also on the soft. Matey Boy fifth on the super softs. And you got White and Dave 6th and 7th on the softs. And you got Soups, Callum and Mike Whiteside getting through into the top 10 on the super soft tyre. And you got Michael C, Soulman, Devil and VW, who have all retired and
Or been knocked out.
have been knocked out, but they'll get the choice of tyres at the start of the race.
See if it's still raining,
and
so
it
it's
is
going to be a
raining
wet
the
Q3.
intermediates, surely. It is intermediate weather.
The question is it heavy rain and it's inters going to wet, or is it just light rain and it's going to stay intermediates?
We will soon see. We've got 12
If
minutes to
everybody
find
comes
out.
out at once, we'll know it's a Toro Rosso, so that'll be day 10:25. Gingerly making his way out onto the track. Be wanting to take it extra easy to make sure that they don't lose the car on their out laps, ruining their chances of a decent position in Q3. Just got to try and explore the limits as much as they can. Right on board with him. It's looking very treacherous. It's turn one. Trying to take too many liberties on the way in. Trying to open up turn 2. Ride the curve all the way around turn 3. Normally with DRS wide open, but not right now because it's raining. Double apex of turn 6, see how risky he tries to play it. Not very at all. Some traffic in front of him.
I will apologise for any background noise you hear.
The dog's going mad.
So, dog is going mad.
We'll just have to put up with
Just
our
the dog's going.
third commentator.
Currently playing tug of war. But anyway,
Dave 10:25 come around to finish the first lap of the session. Oh, Callum Rose has crashed.
already one
So,
gone.
22-0. He's crashed on the... Where is that? Is that turn 4?
That's the exit at 5. He's
Exit
facing the wrong
5.
way on the exit at 5.
He's vettled it. KO is on a lap. See where this lap puts him. It's 1 minute 19.3.
I had a sneaking suspicion it might dry out. So we've got Matey Boys sat in the pits on the super soft tyre. So I have a sneaking suspicion it might dry out.
Well, it doesn't look like it's raining hard.
It's not raining at all, actually. I don't think it is raining.
Let's go see if I can find someone in the pits. No, it has stopped raining.
There you go.
So that would be why. So only 3 drivers have set a lap. KO on a 1:19.3. Dave 10:25 2.6 seconds off, and Mike Whiteside 4.8 seconds off.
At least they've got a lap on the board.
Yes. And considering we could have people crashing out in the wet like Callum Rose did, that could be important.
On the perfect time that he can do, 1:20.000. Soups goes third. 1:21.6.
Madman, only P5.
Yeah, he obviously didn't get the perfect lap, but to be honest, I wouldn't be out there. If it's going to dry, I mean,
Ooh.
they're sliding around on their inders.
He nearly put it in the wall out of turn 5.
Yeah. I would say KO's gone quicker, 19.2.
Improved by a tenth of a second.
I would personally get in the pits and wait a few minutes and come out on the supers.
Now the thing is, what I do think that Matey Boy, Gen19 and White have missed here is I'd set a banker lap on the inters, just in case their plans are obviously, it seems to be, to run on the
wait till it dries out.
Yeah, if that doesn't work and they end up at the back of the grid, they would have just wasted a set of dry tyres for the race.
J19 and White come out, but they're both on inters. They've missed their opportunity, surely.
There's only 6 minutes to go. It's a question of if the track will dry out quick enough.
Wagner's going again. He has got TLK in front of them, so he might not get the perfect lap.
Soups is coming into the pits, so he's finished his first run.
Wagner is loose on the rear. He has not got a very stable car in the wet.
Gotta hope the race is dry.
That's turn 6 and 7. TLK still in front.
Mike Whiteside is a second up on his lap time.
Ooh, Madman is really fighting this car. Really fighting this car.
Mike Whiteside comes up to cross the line, improves by 1.2 seconds and stays P6.
22.9, that's a good lap.
Yeah, it's only 7/10 of a second off Madman.
Madman is currently
it's 1.2 seconds up.
Racing.
Still 1.2 seconds up, even with all the drifting he's been doing.
Not enough to be pole though.
Oh, he's coming in. So unless he thinks it's time for dries, I would not have aborted that lap. He was so far up according to my screen. Unless... Well, yeah, he crossed the line. He was only a tenth off, and that's with coming into the pits. So
Still plays improved at 19.7.
The track is drying out, I think. KO has fitted supers now, so I think they might be trying to risk it at the end of the session just to see.
TLK's out of fuel. That could be crucial.
That's,
taking a couple of minutes to get round.
4 minutes, yeah, 4 minutes left of the session. Get in, get tyres changed, and back out again.
Yeah.
With it being such a short lap, you might be able to get away with it here compared to, say, tracks like Singapore where you need about 4 minutes.
But yeah, it's now time to box and put supers on.
30:10:25 has done the same.
No point staying in a lap, but there are people who still doing so.
I mean, Gen19 and White might be doing it to set bankers as Gen19 pops into P4 with that one. Just so they have something in the bank.
Yeah. I would have picked, personally. They're losing the opportunity to put the supers on. They're going to find themselves at the back of the grid, back at second.
DRS has been enabled though.
There's your evidence that you need to be in.
Yeah. Man will be thanking his lucky stars that it's drying off, being down in P6 after that. Although with the lap time he was improving on, he would have gone P3. From what it was up to the second sector, he was 1.2 seconds up. He would be P3, behind TLK. So TLK is still crawling around. He's made it up to the top of the hill now. So he's nearly back to the pits with 3 minutes to go. It's going to be touch and go whether he gets back out in time.
Should be alright. You only need about... Ideally, you need to have about 1.5 minutes.
Yeah. Just in case you have to get out of the way for other drivers or make a bit of space.
So David's out there on slicks now. He's still along with Matey Boy. Matey Boy's waited until now to come out on the slicks.
There's still a bit of spray. Doesn't look. It looks a bit tiptoey.
Looks alright. I would say looks well. Might be a bit tiptoe, but I still think it'll be quicker than being out on Inters.
Yeah, but it might not be by much, but it'll be. And if not, it will bring some of the guys, if you say have now got the time to do that, further up the grid.
Yeah.
Gen 19, for example, might not get back in time. He's only got 2 minutes to go, and he's still out there on the Inters. So this might give people like Dave J.
Oh, he's gone round again. So yeah, no,
Dave
he definitely
1025,
hasn't.
sorry,
He definitely
Madman.
won't. Dave will be the first one to set a lap on the dries. How will this look? And then, oh, he does get slowed down.
Just.
See how this ends up.
DRS wide open. Yellow in
Sector 2 yellows.
I've got my
20.1, so they're down, still down a couple of seconds. Off the ultimate dry pace, but
will it still be quicker than
it'll still be quicker than 19. Might be looking around sort of like a 15 or something, I reckon. A 15 or 16. Potentially.
slow in front of him. It is, I believe, a Ferrari.
That'll be KO.
It's
One
just
is out
Ferrari.
Dave comes around the final proper corner on this track, up the hill.
See if it's worked. Looks like it might have done. Oh, he'll go P1 with this.
16, 17.
17-0 P1.
Yeah, P1, but
So we'll be expecting
Time
lots
will
of
tumble.
fast laps now. Yeah.
TLK is not. Oh, yes, he has got enough
He
time.
has just, yes, he's got out.
80 boy, 15.8. Now, as the benchmark, is KO is now.
TLK is going to get
second.
over the line with
About 10
12
seconds.
seconds to spare. Kevin is a 19.6 first sector, so he's already 4/10 up.
Oh, he's got traffic though.
He's been blocked. Been blocked by
White
Mercedes.
on the intermediate. That Madman's gone quicker, so 14.2.
That could be crucial.
Yeah, let's see if that's affect anything with him. So we'll see. It's be close, you know. This will
It's
be
going to be
close.
very close. He should be okay.
No,
yeah,
he's still
fine.
at 13. That's 12.
P1 by
Okay.
1.3 seconds. Matey boy next across the line without his front wing, I think, there.
And he's run out of fuel. He ran out of fuel.
has he?
He was ghosting.
Oh no, he is. Oh no, I thought he was missing his front wing. He's not.
TLK.
Just TLK left. He's on a good lap.
Oh, this will be pole.
He is pole position by 1.4 seconds.
11.4. TLK on pole. TLK,
That is
KO,
everyone.
Dave, Madman, Suit, Maple, J19, Whiteside, White, and Callum.
Suits has left his
left
session.
session.
Oof, that was
He's disconnected. He has to be quick. Get back in, otherwise he's
Now, fortunately, J19 has driven into the pit lane, so he's got a good minute and a
Yeah.
half now.
as of White. So both the Mercs pitted, and yeah, so he's got a minute and a half of Suits to get back in to the room.
You can see the difference in the end between inters and dries, about 6 seconds between Mateyboy and J19.
Yeah, it's 10 seconds between J19 and TLK.
TLK leaving it till the last minute with his fuel problems. It's turned out to be a masterstroke.
Yeah, he ended up being the last one across the line in the driest conditions.
It's a Nico Hulkenberg from 2010 kind of scenario at the same track. One of the AIs was pushing, it would be Madman's AI pushing Mike Whiteside's AI off the track and getting some front wing damage. Now, it said one of the Mercs has gone back out on track. I believe would be
That'll be
White's
an
car,
AI.
just, yeah.
White's got
White's
that'll be
car's,
an AI.
yeah, driven back out on track.
Oh.
Yellow flags are set. There's cars running out of fuel everywhere now.
Yeah.
10 seconds left to go, and still no sign of Soups.
No, he's going to miss the start of the race, unfortunately.
I don't think it will let him take part in the race full stop, I don't think, will it?
Nope.
I know from my dodgy internet connections in the past, when I've disconnected during the warm-up lap, it's allowed me to take control about 2 laps in. And there you have it.
Yes, it's okay on pole by 1.5 seconds pretty much. Getting that
Making the most of the
absolutely
conditions.
spot on at the end of the session there.
Everybody will shift up one with Soups now not making the start.
Yep, everyone from 6th down will shift that one.
Which works out great for Michael C, I believe he started 11th, wasn't it? Starts P10 with a free set of tyres.
Yep. And now we've got the 5-minute wait.
Now the guys that went out on the super softs, it shouldn't have affected them too much. Because they would have done one run and that would have been the mandatory set that gets taken back at the end of the session, so it shouldn't have affected their...
In theory, yes. That should
Tyre
affect their
allocation,
allocation
no.
for the race.
Now the long wait. And Soups
Soups
is
has
now
rejoined,
rejoined.
but
It's a bit late now.
he will find that he won't make the race.
No, he won't be able to make the start, unfortunately. It's a 71 lap race, I believe, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
71, yes. It'll be interesting to see how this race unfolds now with a guy not involved in the championship battle out front and in the way, effectively.
I say that's one way of saying it, I guess.
Yeah. Or in the way for the likes of KO and Madman, they would like to just be out in front.
Well, KO's starting on the softer tyres, so he might
Indeed.
he might take it conservative.
Yeah.
In the F1 League race, it turned out that was the better strategy to be on, starting on the slightly harder compound. It depends really what the delta is between the tyres. If the delta's too great, it depends on what tyres they take on their first stop and the second stop.
Yes.
If they run the supers all the way to the end, then they might be able to claw back what they might lose in the first stint of the race. But if they go, say, soft supers, then they might not have that luxury come the end of the race.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the strategy goes, because myself and Stephen in particular, when we're commentating, we do keep a very close eye on what the strategy ends up being for most drivers, because it tends to be whatever they do is what we try to do. So we just try and match the strategy, and if not, see if there's a way of
I'd just throw caution to the wind.
Stretching out the stints. Reach higher.
I just make it up as I go along.
That's what I used to do, but I've taken a bit more sensibly recently.
It doesn't work normally, but it worked last week, so... We'll wait it out now. The drivers will be planning their strategies into turn 1.
Yeah.
Guys at the back will be trying to lunge, well, maybe not lunge, but try and make up as many positions as they can.
Get through the first sector safely, but yeah, trying to pick up any positions as possible.
Hopefully no jump starts.
We haven't seen any jump starts, really. Not for a long time.
Well, you never know, they do
The
happen.
last jump start I actually remember seeing was actually from our league, back at Spain.
Can't remember who that was that got
Carey.
Oh yes, there was. Pulsitor, I believe,
Carey,
that day as well.
Carey got jump start from Hull.
Yes, and then there was the infamous jump start I made last year at Brazil.
Yeah. The less we speak about that, the better.
Yeah. I mean, it can happen. Finger can slip off the clutch. It's a warm day, especially the drivers in England. It's a warm day. I believe we've not got that much longer to wait until...
Yeah, they're just waiting for me to give the signal.
How long have we got?
Basically just sending the signal now saying go when ready.
Alright.
So the 5 minutes counts from when the qualifying results screen comes up.
Yeah. So they've got an extra minute and a half reprieve as well. There we go.
Yeah. That's why we do the formation laps. Anyone who maybe doesn't get back in time, they have the extra minute and a half, 2 minutes, how long it takes to do a formation lap to get back to their car ready for the start of the race. So I believe we had that last season. I remember, I think it was Bahrain.
Yes, there was a few drivers who didn't.
One driver didn't make it back.
But it was Dave J, wasn't it?
I think you might be right, actually.
There was confusion about whether there was going to be a restart or not.
Yeah. But the rules of the site is there's no restart unless there's a mass lobby disconnection.
Or lobby split.
Yeah.
So no, on previous games,
it
was a problem.
Or if someone presses go to race early before the 5 minutes is up and people are back in time, then you restart. But
although that very rarely happens.
That day it was, I think it was like 4 minutes. It was a minute earlier. Madman and David had a collision on the formation.
A lot of people had a collision. 6 drivers are already going to be sitting on the grid.
Half the field are now already on the grid.
They're nearly finished the formation lap already, as I said, short lap. So TLK is obviously trying to get his eye in already. He's flying around on this formation lap.
Okay, he is on the soft tyre as well, actually.
Yes, I did miss that, to be honest. I thought he was on the super softs.
He did go out in the supers, didn't he, at the end of Q2, but he didn't improve because of the rain.
Oh yes, that is true.
I mean, yeah, he's flown around this formation lap.
I don't know even where. KO is nowhere near. I believe he'll just be popping it. There he is.
Tyre and brake warm up. There's another one. Another 2. Callum and White.
That leaves 5 drivers making it to round the whole formation lap.
Come on, guys! You know you can do it better. But here we go. Start the race. 1 lights and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Long hold, a very long hold, but we are away. Finally, we're away, and TLK does get a good start. But Madman's up the inside KO. Madman's trying to get the inside of KO. Doesn't get hold of that, but he stays in 3rd. Dave in 4th. Matey Boy 5th. Ooh, rather behaving back there.
Problems at the back.
No, they're all behaving themselves, but TLK holds on to the lead, and KO is holding off Madman. Madman's wide. Madman's
very wide.
Might let Dave through. It has done.
So a lot of people through.
Second 2 yellows. We've got an incident back there. think.
is
Solman,
Michael C. is
Alan,
driving very slowly.
Alan and VW have also had an issue
Yes.
at turn 4.
Back to the front.
Yeah, the
Looks like
top two are pulling
pulling
away.
on, yeah.
See, Madden making that error.
back past Dave very well. He's run wide. About to say he's done well to get back to P3 quickly, but he's run very wide.
I did think his rear end looked rather loose in qualifying, and is now under pressure from Matey Boy and J19.
I thought that was just because it was wet. Is he going to get... No, all he's...
Oh, Matey Boy's on the grass.
I think
Matey Boy is,
might have been nudged. I'm not too sure.
I don't think there was contact. I think he was just on the outside and...
Just the way it narrows up into turn 1.
On the approach to turn 1, it does curve, doesn't it? So I think he just ran out too wide.
Curves, and I believe it narrows up as well.
There's lots of yellows out there. What? We've got VW who spun out the last corner.
Solman's hit something, or he's very nearly hit something. Down at turn 4.
Yeah,
he's got front wing damage. Yeah, he's lost a bit of got a bit of front wing damage on the right hand side as well. VW is VW was very slow into the pit lane. They're practically crawling in.
Madman is trying to line up Dave. Needs to get past him quick, because if KO gets past TLK, I think
KO is pressurising TLK currently.
There's no DRS at the moment, remember? This is lap of the race.
Madman gets
Dave.
Dave just going to go back down the inside. Well, Madman's got the job done.
There is now DRS available for KO. We approach turn 4.
Dave's going to give it another. Going to try into turn 4. He is. He's giving it a go.
Through.
No, he's going to run wide though. No, he's run wide. He's let J19 through.
J19 through as well. But Dave, unfortunately, trying to go for P3, he's ended up down in P5. And that is
well to go.
KO is still challenging TLK at the front.
With DRS, it'll be much easier into turn 1 now.
Depends on how he exits the last corner. But he will need to get past him quick, because he will know Madman will try and close up these two battling.
You can maximum, or the TLK's very squirrely on the exit as well.
Yeah, this should be a done deal, I think, into turn 1.
Well, it depends who's last of the late breakers. It could end up being. I think it will be last of the late breakers.
TLK holds on.
Yeah.
Well done, TLK.
Might be running less aero than the Ferrari as well.
KO gets more DRS usage now. TLK goes
very defensive, practically exiting the pit lane.
But he does again hold on, but does KO get the cutback? Looks for it.
Does.
No, he can't get the exit.
Trying around the outside of 6 would be very risky.
There's yellows in sector 1. Not sure who that was for. I think it might be VW again. He's already a lap down, unfortunately, VW.
Yeah, Mike Whiteside, Devil and Michael C are quite close together for 8th place as well.
Yes, they are. 8th, 9th and 10th all in the line.
So Devil's made the most places in the first 4 laps. With 3.
I'm thinking about it, but Mike Whiteside...
Oh no! Able to keep him behind.
Wide, I can see there. Wide.
Yellows in sector 2 again.
A lot of yellows.
Madman sets the fastest lap.
Race. Yeah, Madman will be. He's on the softer tyre. He needs to charge.
Yeah. It looks like the gap is coming down. No, it's actually going up. I thought the gap was coming down.
Oh, Devil's wide. Turn 1. Is that Michael C through?
Michael C is right on the back of Whiteside as well.
Obviously, he's got a good exit, and this should be a done deal.
Yeah.
It is. Gets to slow down, which he does. Michael C opens.
So Michael C's made up 2 positions, Devil's made up 2 positions, Gianantine's made up 2 positions.
Macron up 1, White up 1.
Callum Rose has lost the most positions with 3.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he did have an issue at turn 4. He had one of the cars out of an issue at turn 4. KO once again in the slipstream of TLK.
He's gaining very quickly as well. He pulled out too early last time.
Open.
He's going defensive. TLK tries to hang on.
KO's through,
But,
and I
yep.
think KO will also get the DRS now because he was still behind.
No, TLK, yeah, TLK's got it.
Oh, TLK doesn't have it. Would he lunge? It's turn 4?
No, it's too risky. Yeah, he'd be coming from too far back. It's too early in the race to be thinking of moves like that, to be honest. Callum Rose gets the first time penalty of the race.
But only lap 6, that's
Worrying.
that's concerning.
More yellow flags in Sector 2. Marshals in Sector 2 are very busy today. And more yellow flags in Sector 2. I don't know what's going on in Sector... VW's gone off again. That's what's happened.
I wonder if he's actually letting people through.
There's nobody around him. The leaders obviously are only at down the start-finish straight, and he's well into the middle sector.
Within 4/10 of TLK all of a sudden.
He's using them softer tyres up just that little bit better. Callum is retired. Is that a crash? That is a big crash.
Turn 3.
How have you done that?
It looks like I would think he's had a moment coming out of 2.
Overcorrected.
Overcorrected and kept his foot on the floor probably.
That does mean VW will gain a position up to 12. Now, Madman's laps are much, much faster than the 2 ahead of him. TLK's fast as a 14.0, KO's a 13.7, he's done a 13.3. Okay, so I think in these opening laps, while he has the tyre advantage, he needs to put the pressure on. My co-commentator has disappeared. I think his internet has died, so I'll do my best to keep us going until he's able to reconnect. As the top 3 make their way around turn 4. Still line astern. Looks like Madman is starting to gain on TLK. Just needs to wait, be patient, wait until he has some DRS advantage and then make his move into turn 1, especially as TLK is out of DRS range of KO now as well. Slipstream. DRS wide open. Just can't get close enough. See if he can make the move into turn 4. DRS advantage again, still too far back. TLK is starting to slowly catch KO all over again. Gaps toing and froing between the 2 of them. Seems TLK is faster down the straights. Looks like a lower downforce package than what KO is running. Able to gain down that long run. Oh, Madman's right on the back of TLK now. Bad exit out of the final corner. TLK goes defensive. Madman going to go around the outside. Both brake late. Madman now try to switch back into 3. Can't make it. It's very close on the run to turn 4 now with DRS again. Around the lap car of VW. Dives down the inside. Wham. Oh, no, not quite. Wheel to wheel all the way down to turn 6. Who's going to give it first? And TLK keeps P2. Very good driving from both of them. Michael C looks like he's closing in on Matey Boy. And Matey Boy goes off the track. Gives Michael C the position. White all over him now. Look to advance into peak fastest lap from KO, 1:13.1. Very quick for that set of tyres this early in the race. Soulman get himself a 3-second time penalty. Yellow flags in sector 1. What is that for? That is for VW spinning at turn 1. So it looks like White still isn't able to get past Matey Boy down the straight. See if he can. Oh, VW goes off again. I wonder what's going on there. I wonder if he's got a puncture. No, all 4 tyres look inflated. I wonder if it's just dirty tyres just spinning with less grip on them. Needs to get those tyres cleaned up. He's back going again. Soulman, oh, Soulman driving very slowly, letting the 2nd and 3rd through. Nearly, they both hit the wall. Madman goes through into P2. The TLK is coming back at him again. Ooh, late braking into turn 1. Tries to go around the outside. Has the inside line for 2, but can't get it done. Madman keeps the position. DRS wide open, still trying to get the position back off Madman, but can't get it done. I think Madman might now, while he's got the tyre advantage, try to pull away. And those tyres will be starting to get a little bit second hand now. So he might just have to resort to trying to keep TLK behind while he has the tyre advantage until he can come in and get a fresh set of tyres. Meanwhile, KO brings the lead out to 2.8 seconds. Madman gets himself a time penalty now. Michael C is out. Now, is that an incident, or is that just losing it on the exit of 7? It looks like he might have lost it on the exit of 7. Yellow flags out in sector 2 while that is cleared up. TLK has passed Madman again. I've missed that while looking at Michael C's accident. So those tyres must be starting to really wear out now, starting to lose a lot of grip. He'd be wanting to come in and get rid of them as soon as he can. Try and undercut TLK over the next phase of the race. Everybody's starting to spread out now. Closest battle on track is still Madman and TLK, 1.2 seconds. Everybody else is running very far apart. Dave 1025 is kind of running a race on his own, trying to chase down J19. Michael C has left the session. See if anybody has made a pit stop yet. Matey Boy, Mike Whiteside and Salman and VW have all made pit stops. Madness, maybe he's got through the graining phase on those tyres and found some grip again. He's starting to catch up to TLK all over again. More yellows in sector 1. VW spun again. Quite a few times he's spun this race now. I wonder if there's some underlying setup problems he's got on that car that's causing a catastrophic amount of oversteer. Everybody starts to settle in now for the race, I think. And Madman is in. What tyres will he put on the car? Look like soft tyres to me. They are. Quick stop. Where will this bring him out? P5? I believe yes, it will bring him out in 5th position. Now we need to use these to try and undercut TLK as much as he can. We'll see how much further TLK can go into the race before he has to come in himself. We should be able to do another 10 or 15 laps extra on that set of soft tyres. Depends on how much he's taken out of them, battling with the likes of KO and Madman. German team running his own race in 3rd now. Having a very quiet race now. He's got past the midfield as they would pull away. All spread out now. VW the only car a lap down. Actually, I think it's 2 laps down now. Everybody's well into the race now. Madman is see if how much his on this fresh set of tyres he can improve his laps, or his lap times. He's currently done a 19.3 as his fastest. That was on the super soft early on in the race. He's 10th off his fastest lap currently in the middle sector. Obviously the fuel wearing down, cars will become quicker and quicker as the race goes on. J19 gets himself a 3-second time penalty as well. This track can be very harsh on track limits, depending on where you run wide or run over curves, like turn 3, turn 2 especially. You can get them in the exit turn 4, turn 7 as well. It's normally a hot spot for penalties. Mike Whiteside running a very good race in 8th position currently. Already made his first pit stop. Mateboy gets himself a penalty as well. Up in turn 6 and 7. So I'm guessing he's cut one of the apexes of turn 6 and we have more yellow flags in sector 1. There's VW again. Same place, same as before. Soulman gets himself another 3-second time penalty. I think he's got a few of them now. Let's have a look. Soulman has got himself 2 penalties already. Let's see what the leaders are like. KO's sitting on 2 warnings. TLK hasn't got anything so far. Janetti's got himself a penalty. Dave 1025, nothing so far. Madman is setting very good lap times on these tyres, quicker than what TLK is managing to do. So I think he would have undercut TLK by the time TLK comes in. Mike Whiteside gets himself a 3-second penalty. Well, Madman sets the fastest lap of 1:13.0. He's flying on those tyres. He may even undercut KO if KO's not careful. Although he has pulled out a 5.5 second lap gap to TLK. I think TLK is just looking after his tyres, making sure that he doesn't overdo them, cause himself any extra problems during the race. Madman is very close to Dave J. Dave J? I keep calling him Dave J by accident. Dave 1025 on much fresher tyres. See how quickly he can dispatch the Toro Rosso and get on his chase for the top 2 again. Madman again, first driver into the 1 minute 12s. 12.8 that lap, so the soft tyres definitely tyres to be on right now. Gaining on Dave 1025. Shouldn't be too much longer until he's right on that driver's gearbox. Whether Dave will put up a fight or not is yet to be seen. But I wouldn't expect him to, considering they're running completely different strategies. Would think, yep, Dave lets him through. It's the sensible thing to do, considering you don't want to lose loads of time battling with a car that you're not racing on your strategy. So a Madman can chase after the top 3. TLK is still losing time. TLK is making quite a sizable lead now, up to 6 seconds. The question is, how long will they leave it until they come into the pits themselves, because they will be under threat from Madman, who's been running fantastic lap times since he put those soft tyres on. And what tyres will they go on to? Will they go for another stint on the softs, or will they try and run super softs all the way to the end of the race? VW, it's still the only car that's been lapped is VW, 2 laps down now. With the myriad of problems he's been having, especially down in turn 1 and turn 2. Soulman's recovering from his early race problems, spinning down at turn 4. Devil as well, with his front wing damage that he's just... Oh no, he didn't sustain front wing damage, he's just... Oh, VW, 5 second stop and go penalty. Where would that have been? That would have been at turn 7. He got that. Meanwhile, Madman is chasing J19. Brought the gap down in a couple of laps from 4 to 2 seconds. The undercut is very, very much on now. So he should come out near the front, if not in the... Or they should, when the top 2 have made their stop, he should be in the lead, if not very close to it. So it shouldn't be too much longer now before J19 is also under threat from the McLaren. Devil's closing on Mike Whiteside as well very quickly. They're very close together. Coming down towards turn 4. Devil is within DRS. Not quite close enough to get anything this lap. The TLK has come into the pits and so has J19. So Madman is well out in front of TLK. He is down by the pit exit way before TLK is even near it. TLK does come out just behind Dave 1020 with a side by side actually. Going into turn 4. Will Dave let him go? No, Dave's not letting him go. There he has. TLK can now see what he can do. On the fresher now he's got fresher tyres compared to Madman. He's been on them for about 10 or so laps. Is he able to keep this pace up while TLK has got the fresher tyres? And that leaves KO out on his own. Still not made a stop. The gap is 20 seconds. So he will probably be coming out very close to Madman now. They will be close to side by side coming out of the pit exit, I reckon, if KO comes in within the next 2 laps. If not, I think Madman might jump him. We may have a fight on our hands for the lead. VW gets a 3-second time penalty as well for corner cutting. J19 and White, J19 overtakes White as he comes into the pits very, very slowly. Gets onto the pit limiter. See what tyres he goes from softs, a bit of the supers on. Matey Boy gets a 3-second time penalties are coming from everywhere now. So White will come out in P7, I believe. How far back is Mike Whiteside? He's... Oh, KO is coming into the pits. Just spot that while I'm looking at where Mike is. See what tyres he goes on to now. This is going to be interesting. Madman is coming out of the final corner now. KO also puts on the super soft, so it goes a different way to TLK. TLK going for the more conservative, harder option. It's going to be very tight coming up. There is Madman. This is going to be very, very tight coming out of turn 3. KO will have the shorter run in turn 3, but Madman's done it. Madman should and is just ahead of KO. He's made the undercut work, but KO being on the super softs now has the tyre advantage that Madman had at the beginning of the race. So now we have a race on our hands for the lead. But will Madman bother to fight it, or will he just let KO go and hope to get him later in the race doing a similar thing? Very, very close together now. KO will be patient. He'll wait until he gets a decent opportunity with DRS down the main straight. He has such a pace advantage with those tyres. Going for a short middle stint compared to everybody else around him. TLK and Madman both going for longer middle stints. Very spread choice of tyres across the field. Now everybody has made their first pit stops. Only TLK and Madman of the top 5 are going for the longer option. TLK there in the background is gaining on Madman and KO. Matey Boy makes his way into the pits. It's Dave 1025 through to P5. Sector 2 and 3 now there is a yellow flag. What's that for? I can't see anything. We'll go back to the lead battle. KO looking every single corner to try and get an advantage. Try and poke his nose in and see if he can force an error. Matey Boy's retired. And what is that for? That is a crash at the pit lane exit. He'd just come into the pits and he has crashed on the pit lane exit. Or is he? No, he hasn't. He's right there on the apex. I don't know what's happened there. Has he made contact with another car? It's a very, very odd place to have an accident. Meanwhile at the front, and oh, they've just come across the wrecked car of Matey Boy, and that might have just given Madman the break he needs into turn 4, giving him the gap that he needs. Can't actually see his car because the Ferrari's wind mirror is blocking our view. J19 sets the fastest lap. He's suddenly come alive on those super softs. Madman's still able to hold off KO, even though KO is on the fresher tyres. TLK is gaining and gaining as this is happening, joining the battle the battle at the front. Soon, if these two aren't careful, it'll be a three-way battle for the lead instead of a two-way battle. KO needs to be very careful he doesn't make any unnecessary moves and damage his championship chances and his front wing. Being the championship leader, he doesn't have to take as many risks as the McLaren in front of him, but he's got again a very good exit, and VW, it looks like, has spun off again at the final corner. And Madman is still staying ahead, but KO is going to have a look. No, he's not going to have a look into turn 1. Madman's able to stay ahead of him. They're very close coming out of turn 3. Madman's already going defensive. KO's going to have a look around the outside. No, yes he is. He's going to try and outbrake him. Not quite. Try and get the better exit and try and get the run down to turn 6. Pulls out. Taking the risky outside route. Tries to go around the outside. Not quite. Still there. Oh, KO gets a penalty running that wide. That may be very important come the end of the race if they are running this close together. All the while, TLK is joining the battle at the rear of this little duo to make it a trio. And TLK would probably sit back, watch these two, and then pounce on any kind of mistakes they make. Could come out in the lead. Just needs the opportunity. And these two battling hard has given him the chance to gain and bring himself into the battle for the top 2. KO just doesn't seem to be able to gain on Madman. Soulman gets himself another penalty. Still not able to get the move done into turn 4, but Madman runs wide. It gives KO the opportunity into 5, can't quite get it done, running side by side. Dave 1025 has left the session, so he must have had an internet problem as well. Madman still defending hard from KO. TLK sniffing at these two, can smell the lead, and KO goes for contact between the two. KO makes a late lunge but makes it stick. Madman will be wanting that lead back as quickly as he can, but he'll have to worry about TLK at the same time. With KO able to take that much more extra speed out of the corner with those fresher tyres, Madman is just that far, might be just that too far back, unless he tries a lunge into turn 1. He's gaining, but he's not close enough. Still second though. KO first, Madman second, TLK third. 3 completely different strategies, all within half a second of each other. But it looks like KO has got the job done, and he can start pulling away while he, as Madman had earlier, has the tyre advantage. With so many corners and so only 2 real straights here, having the tyre advantage is key round here. And Madman has already fallen out of DRS range of KO, and it becomes a battle for second between him and TLK. TLK waiting for DRS. The wing will open. There it is. KO sets the fastest lap on his first lap out in the lead on his own. Meanwhile, I think Madman will have to abort trying to chase after him and just try and consolidate second to the Force India behind him. Make sure he doesn't lose any more ground battling. Oh, he gets a very, very big moment into turn 4 and runs wide. Locked the rear wheels by the looks of it, or had a dodgy gear change. But he now loses the position to TLK. So TLK with the clear air, can he do anything to catch up with? KO, who's already pulled out a 3-second lead in just 2 laps, which is phenomenal. He's just able to lap that much faster on those tyres than anyone else. Sitting on an 11.7, nobody is even in the 1-minute 11s. Nobody else is, I believe, even in the low 1-minute 12s. Quickest lap other than those, Jenna's Field 12.5, so he is in a league of his own. As they go round Dave 1025's ghosted car, still hasn't rejoined. Top 3 beginning to spread out now. Up to Dave 1025 have been lapped. VW now 6 laps down. Don't know where he is now. Where is he? He's there, P10. Albeit 6 laps down. Running very, very wide out of turn 6. Starman in 9th after his earlier problems. Mike in 8th, challenging. He's either challenging or he's been lapped by J19. He has just been lapped by J19. Gaining and gaining on the ghost of Dave 1025, which shouldn't be too much longer till he's past it. Devil running very well in P6, out on his own. 1-minute 10 off the lead. White in P5. Again, also running his own race, along with his teammate, J19. And then 6 seconds now that separate the top 3. It looks like KO has turned the engine down since his little burst of speed. Let's have a look at their fuel levels here. KO running in lean now to try and save up some fuel after that earlier little burst after getting past Madman. Both TLK and Madman are running in standard, albeit TLK has a lot more fuel for later in the race. Everybody else, I believe, is running in standard, all apart from Dave 1025's lean running Toro Rosso, so Mike comes up to it now. Or was that VW? That was VW. Mike will soon be closing and move up to 7th place. Devil comes into the pits, puts on a set of super softs. Dave 1025 makes up a position, and so does Mike. So Mike will go up to P6 when he passes the ghost of Dave 1025. See what Devil can do. Mike running a very, very quiet race, getting the points, up in 6th currently. Everybody once again, after the pit stop flurry, everybody is spread out again. And as I say that, Madman has finished had enough of those soft tyres and comes into the pits. See what he'll go on this time round. They look like they are super softs. So now he will be the one to watch on these new tyres. So obviously going for a 3-stop by the looks of it. After starting on the softer tyre. Comes out after his 2nd stop. Behind J19. So you'll have to pass the Mercedes all over again. Only 5 cars remaining on the lead lap though, after just 35 laps. White will be... well, Matey Boy's left the session after his accident earlier. White looking like he could potentially fall a lap down not too soon. Not in the far distant future. Depending on how he runs on these tyres compared to the leaders. TLK keeping a gap. Stable. Considering the difference of tyres, I reckon the super softs have worn enough that TLK, with those soft tyres that he put on just a few laps before, is maybe starting to have a better feel for the car. It's starting to have more pace, not having to push as hard. Mike and Devil battling for P6 and 7, I missed that. Devil is on the fresher tyres, so I'm very surprised by that actually. See if Devil can regain the position down the main straight with those fresher tyres. Gets DRS, puts it into Rich. Is Mike going to go defensive? No. Ooh, that looked close. Still another chance into turn 4. Go round Curva del Sol onto the back straight. Can they get it into Decina del Lago? No, he can't. So I'll have to probably potentially wait another lap. Ooh, probably very close to the rear wheel of Mike there. Apart from this battle, everybody else is... Oh, Soulman has retired. Is that from an accident? That is, he's binned it on the way into the pits. That is unusual. That's extremely unusual. He comes in and makes a pit stop. Even with just 3 wheels on his wagon, he still makes a pit stop, and that's it. His race is done. That is a very, very unusual accident. Devil and Mike are still battling meanwhile. Someone has left. I'm not surprised. That's very, very unfortunate. That looked like it could have been a very bizarre accident. That was going to dive up the inside of Interlagos. This time around he gets it done. Mike runs a little bit wide. Mike has made 2 pit stops as well actually. So that was for a position. That wasn't just because of pit stops. Meanwhile, Madman, 20 seconds behind again, is close to making that undercut on KO all over again. Devil can then try and chase down White, who's 30 seconds up the road on him. J19 is, recently, while I was watching the battle between Mike and Devil, I missed that, but it looks like J19 is struggling. Very well in 4th though. Good haul of points. Confident in his championship ambitions. Madman needs to get the chase on now while he's got the tyres. TLK falling further and further behind. Mike still falling back from Devil, doesn't seem to be able to respond to what Devil had when he overtook him. Before then, he's doing very well to stay in front of him, but it doesn't look like he's able to have the pace to keep up. Devil is gaining quite considerably on White, even though there is a 29-second gap between the two of them. You never know what can happen in this race. That could end up being very important later on. Other than that, TLK again still falling behind ever so slowly. But not by the same huge chunks that he was when he got past Madman. Good 10, 15 laps ago now. Those tyres will be starting to get a bit second hand. Stays out for another lap. Madman brought the gap down to 18 seconds. Need a good around about 17 seconds or so for a pit stop. He's 24 behind KO, so at this rate he would still come up behind him. Needs to gain a good fair chunk. Bill dips a wheel on the grass on the way to turn 1. But everybody else is still... There's more drivers have fallen by the wayside. We've lost Soulman, we've lost Matey Boy, we've lost Michael C and Callum Rose. Although VW is now... How many laps down is he now? 6 laps down. Still hasn't passed Soulman after his quite bizarre retirement in the pit lane. Must have smacked the pit lane entry wall a bit too hard. Madman gets himself a 3-second time penalty now. KO's just running his own race at the front, keeping it between the white lines, trying not to gain too many penalties, doesn't want to get any late penalty points in the championship battle that could hinder him. He's gained a large amount of fuel now, 1.3 laps of fuel in the tanks extra, which if Madman keeps coming on the charging is, might need that later on. But it does say that he'll rejoin in P2, so he has still got the gap. 2 Madman, that means he won't have to worry about him. TLK also can come out in P2 still. Valentine gets himself a 3-second time penalty at turn 2. And White, again, both Mercs running on their own. Solid haul of points so far, being 22 points if they hold on to these positions till the end of the race. As I said, Devil's catching still. Mike's way fallen back from Devil now over the past 10 or so laps, falling back by about a second a lap. Very wide through turn 6. I do wonder how much longer KO and TLK will stay out on those tyres. KO's tyres would be starting to feel a bit second hand now. His lap times might have fallen away since he set the fastest lap. He's well into the 1 minute 12, still faster than everybody else, but well into the 1 minute 12s. Whereas TLK is in the high 12s, low 13s. Albeit still without any penalties. Meanwhile, KO has got 1 penalty, I believe. He does. He has not got any warning since. Madman is sitting on 2 penalties. Madman brings the gap down. It's 15 seconds between him and TLK. Still says TLK will come out in second, so it must be very touch and go if he does come into the pits, but how long the tyres, how much longer the tyres can hold on a Madman's car remains to be seen. He's been pushing very hard on them since he came out of the pits. Running a 3-stop strategy it would be. And 1 more stop I reckon for Madman, probably put on the softs at the end, hoping that something falls to him. Maybe can get the undercut and then make another pit stop and run longer. TLK's not careful though, he will drop a position. Everybody's once again, as it was about 20 laps ago before a little flurry of position changes during the pit stop phases, they're all spread out again. We've got 4 retirements, UW 6 laps. Dave 2 laps down, still ghosted, so he goes another lap down to Madman. Mike P7, still a very strong result for Mike. Still running away on those super soft tyres in P6. And 2 Mercs nearly half a track apart. 1 minute and 2 behind the leader in 36 seconds. So White mustn't be too far away from being lapped. There's KO coming towards the main straight, and White goes into turn 1, so there's a straight between them. TLK would be looking at the gap between himself and Madman. The gap between Madman and KO has not really changed. Madman isn't able to pull that kind of gap to KO. think he might now be looking to consolidate second with Madman. Madman hasn't really. He's 4/10 off his fastest in sector 1. That phase of the race now, where everyone will just be trying to look after their tyres as much as they can, as it is with Formula 1 these days. Make sure we don't make any unnecessary mistakes, especially KO and Madman with their championship fight. But TLK is at the moment right in the middle of that in P2. Doesn't seem like Madman has it at the moment. He was struggling with the rear end a lot in the start of the race and during qualifying in the wet. Maybe he's just run out of ideas and is just trying to consolidate the position. Well over halfway through this race, somebody comes and that'll be white, goes a lap down in the process. That's the third round of pit stops I believe this may be for. No, this is second stop. This is not quite the third round of pit stops yet. All been holding for a long time there. I don't know why it was held for so long. Maybe we just forgot to pull the clutch in. But he does stay P5. Devil is way too far back to make any kind of inroad on that. His teammate has actually lapped. So White comes out of the pits on the soft tyres, hoping to go to the end now maybe. So there's Madman home. It's J19 now comes into pits. The other Mercedes. Mercedes mechanics very busy right now. For his second stop, going on to the Supers. Very, very second-hand looking tyres coming off of that Mercedes. Mike, both Renaults. This J19 now comes out with the pits in P4, very close to the wall there. KO is in the pits. First to make a second stop of Tim and TLK. Promotes TLK to the lead. But where's this put him in relation to Madman? There is Madman. He should be out way in front of him now. And on the pressure tyres. So he's made sure that Madman cannot, there is Madman, make sure he cannot gain on him and get the undercut like he did last time. Which is very important now. Because as he's on the pressure tyres, he should be able to pull away quite convincingly over Madman. The question is, what does TLK do? He came in for those tyres a long time before KO came for his. So it shouldn't be too long now before TLK makes his second stop. The question is, what will he go on? Stays out for another lap. only 4 drivers on the lead lap, does mean that a large amount of these guys aren't going to compete the full distance. Even after Kay made his pit stop, he's still got white lap down on him, I believe. He has, just. He's gaining on TLK. 22 laps to go of this race, so not long left. TLK will probably be making his final stop in the not too distant future. Stays out for another lap. Says his pit window was 24 to 31. I believe that was the previous tyres. Rich trying to chase down TLK just in the off chance that TLK doesn't come into the pits and tries to stay out for the remainder of the race, which would be very, very risky. He has only made one stop. Everybody else has made 2, apart from him and Dave 1025 is still driving around with his AI, and Whiteside made 3 stops on the VW. Now, in comparison to the start of the race, VW has gained 4 positions, Dave has lost 5, Mike has stayed where he is, Daniel's up 6, which is very good, White is up 3, Gelatine is up 2 as TLK does come into the pits eventually, which will promote KO back to the lead. There he goes. KO sets the fastest lap in the process. TLK is putting, they've got the mediums are going on. That is an interesting choice. There's a long, long way to go in this race. And who's that coming in behind them? Madman is back into the pits again. And he puts the soft tyres on. So he's made 2 pit stops in the space that TLK has made just the 1. Although TLK is on the less preferred mediums. The only person this race to run on the mediums, I believe. Now, with 10 seconds between Madman and TLK, can Madman catch up and pass TLK with 20 laps to go? So he'll have to gain on average half a second a lap in the next 20 laps to be anywhere near him on the final lap. That looks to be the one chase that there will be in this race. Everybody else is separated by near enough at least 20 seconds. KO is now way out in front. Although his times will be very second now coming into the race, people will make another pit stop. So he might be vulnerable if he does have to make another pit stop. TLK is definitely okay to the end of the race. And Madman should be on those soft tyres okay to the end of the race. He already gained that second on that lap. He's just got to get his head down. And try and limit the damage that a KO win would do in the championship by only losing 7 points instead of 10. Which going into the final round at Abu Dhabi could be crucial. As it stands, KO would not win the championship today. As I believe the points gap was 13 points going into this race, and as it stands, it would only be 23. And if Madman can catch and pass TLK, it would only be 20 points. Which means it would be very much in KO's favour, but not impossible. Down to 9.1 seconds at the end of the lap, so he is chasing hard. He's not in rich, he's running around the standard, but the pace advantage he'll have on those soft side mediums would be staggering. After 2/3 of the race, KO is well out of the league of his own now. Ever since he got that set of super softs on, after the first pit stop, he's been untouchable. He's been lapping near enough half a second to a second quicker than everybody else at the track. As one of the runners gets out of the way, I believe that's VW. Now, just needs to make sure he doesn't hit a wall or make any unnecessary contact with the car he's lapping. Have any kind of problems that means he'll have to come into the pits and that 20-second gap will be wiped out. It is a gap that should see him still come out of the lead, and according to the screen it does say he'll still rejoin it first, but we're running a lean to make sure he doesn't overdo it, save a bit of fuel. TRK is still rapidly losing time. Team Madman. J19 still miles ahead on his own in the Mercedes. Still about half lap ahead of his teammate. Devil and Mike's very, very far apart now. 32 seconds the gap is. Whoa! Very. I think Mike might have caught the... Oh, it goes off again. Mike might have caught the inside curve there and unset at the rear of the car. But is Madman coming up to lapping again? Also lapping just the once, I don't know if he's already been lapped. He has already been lapped, so this would be to lap him for the second time. He should get out of the way for Madman, who is on a charge, and Madman will get DRS this lap from being behind Mike, so he'll gain a little bit more on JKO. He hasn't really gained on the last lap, so he does need to be careful because he's running out of laps to catch up to the Force India. Making most medium tyres work. They won't really degrade, they're so hard, they're harder than Stonehenge, they'll last all the way to the end of the race for like probably 15% wear. Other than that, I think everybody else has got quite large gaps to each other. A few 3-8 overtakes. Brings the gap up to 8.1, so he's gained 0.6 of a second on this lap. Still 8.1. He's really gained in the middle sector where it is just snake, just a complete snake really all the way through. Whereas the extra mechanical grip he gets off was down to 7.9. TLK is losing more time to KO, whose tyres will be still in decent nick. He won't have any reason to push them. Just make sure they can go all the way to the end. Madman brings it down to 7.5 as he comes out of Jim Chow up the hill again. So would be counted as a retirement. It could promote VW, I believe, to P8 if he finishes the race. Whiteside's still P7. Running over, everybody's really running the road race now. There's a devil, and I believe that was a Ferrari coming up behind him to lap him again. I think that is KO. It is indeed. It does seem that those tyres don't really seem to be falling away too much. See how his lap times are faring. Yeah. After doing that 10.5, he's sitting quite nicely in the mid-11s. Got 2 more warnings in the process though, so he's close to getting a second penalty. TLK on the other hand still has nothing. Madman still has 1, 2 penalties, but he's close to his third. J19. 1, 2, just 2 penalties. What about White? No penalties at all. Leaf Depp's got 1. 1, 2. No, he hasn't. Depp's got no penalties either. Whiteside's got 1. VW's got 1, 2. Everybody else is retired from the race. It's been a peculiar race. Quite a quiet one. A few decent battles to the lead halfway through and at the beginning. Bizarre retirement for Soulman, crashing into the pit wall. A bizarre retirement for Matey Boy as well. Seems to have crashed into something on the apex of turn 1, I'm not quite sure what. I'm sure if he can make contact with them on the car, we'll find that in the appeals section later. Madman's brought the gap down to 6 seconds. So he is still closing. At the rate he's going, he still will catch TLK by the end of the race, so it might not be over yet. Although, Madman has 6 seconds of penalty, so he'd have to catch, pass and pull away by 6 seconds to be able to make that position stand, unless TLK manages to get himself 6 corner cuts in the space of 12 laps. Madman makes his way round to finish the second section on this lap. He's only 2 tenths down in his personal best, so he's running fairly consistently. Mercedes look like they're going to be coming out on top and pulling out the most points in the constructors of this race. Apart from Ferrari pulling out 25, they'll be pulling out 22. McLaren getting 15. I don't know whether that would seal them the constructors, considering there's only 1 car in the race. With Soups just disconnecting at the end of qualifying. Meaning we only started with 13 instead of the 14 that took part in qualifying. Man's got to get down to 5.6, so stabilised again. He's up on his personal best though, no he's not now. Just down on it, so he really needs to start putting the hammer down if he's going to catch and pass TLK. Although he may just settle for third, since he knows he might not be able to pull out that 6-second gap when he gets there. Devil has really fallen away in the past later stage of this race. He was gaining on White, but White is nearly going to lap him now. So he has gone from about 20 seconds back to 40 seconds back, really. Or 40, 50, 60 seconds back. Which is a shame, he was gaining on him at one point. Well, I guess as the tyres wore on and the two Mercs made their pit stops later than he did, he wasn't going to be able to keep that pace up all the way through. He's now dropped to over a minute behind. Madman's, the gap's stable at 5.4, it's not really going down. It's going down ever so slightly, so it's not going to be enough now. He's running out of laps. He really needs to be nearly a second a lap quicker than TLK. Surprisingly making those mediums work. I wasn't expecting them to work. I was expecting, oh, lock up in front for one of the Mercs. Might have been white. Indeed it was. And these two have been trading positions via the pit stops all the way through. TLK's been gaining on him when he's made his, Madman's getting on him when he's made his. Madman made the undercut work beautifully in the first stint, pitting a considerable amount of laps earlier than the top two, coming out just about in the lead and being able to hold KO off for quite a long time, making it a very interesting battle for first than it was. And KO gets another penalty, or was that his first penalty? Might be his first penalty of the race. Look at that. That is his second penalty of the race. He's got those warning in very quick succession now. He needs to be careful, otherwise you get a penalty point. Although there's not that many laps left in the race. Madman might have taken the grip out of those tyres now and started. Gap's been, yes, still stable, 5.3, 5.4, has been for the last few laps. I think he might have given up on the chase after Madman, or after TLK, sorry. TLK has given up, has obviously given up on the chase on KO. KO is quite happy out on his own at the front. The Super Softs look like they are going to go the distance. VW gets another time penalty. I believe that'll be his third. He's had a race to forget. So 7 laps down. There's about to go 8 laps down on the leader as the leader comes around right behind him again. And problems very early on. Had a collision, I believe, on the very first lap down in turn 4. And ooh, slides into turn 7 like a rallycross driver. Devil gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Driver's starting to get a bit tired, starting to make a few little mistakes, getting a few little 3-second time penalties, although the gap between each driver is considerable enough that it's not going to make a difference. The finishing order shouldn't change in the penalties unless someone's got a silly, stupidly high rate penalty I haven't noticed. Moves over to let the leader through. The leader's too far back. And he moves over now to let him go, so that becomes 8 laps down for VW. White is on his own, a whole lap behind the leaders, but a whole lap ahead of the car behind him. And J19 has managed to stay on the lead lap, albeit KO was not far away. Fastest laps are truly staggering. Everybody else is 11s, apart from Mike is 13, VW is an 11.9, but KO out on his own on a 10.5. He is nearly 7/10 of a second faster than Madman went on those tyres. He has really shown them that he is ready to take the championship. He might have to wait another week, but he's shown them why he's leading the championship today. As he begins his 67th lap, Mike Whiteside gets another time penalty. Curbing's the 67th lap, that'll be 5 laps to go now. Not long. Madman's 5 seconds the gap is. He's stables. I think he's just run out of tyres. There's one of the Mercs in front of him to lap. I believe that might be White. It is indeed White. G19 might have just let the leader through. No, he hasn't. That is a Renault in front of him, that's just gone very wide off the track. That was Mike Whiteside, who has gone extremely wide off the track. Yellows in sectors 2 and 3. I don't know what that's for. VW's gone off just before Jinsha. He's had a miserable afternoon. He's been off more times than I can count. Whether it's from dodgy setup or I genuinely have no idea, but I've seen his car around many a time today. Lap 68 begins. Kyle just making his way around, just closing out, making sure he doesn't run out of fuel, because if he does, that is race over. He's very close to the fuel limit. Whether he knows that or not is another story, but if I was him, I'd be putting it in lean and running it all the way around for the next 5 laps on that, because I'm not going to lose the lead. Everybody else, I believe, is good on fuel. Well, apart from VW, but it doesn't matter because he's 8 laps down, so... Oh, it goes off again. Keeps it facing forwards. Man brings out down to 4.7. Kerr begins lap 69. 3 laps to go. Very strong race from Madman. Made some very courageous moves into turn 1, turn 4. Lost out some positions early on with little offs at the final corner and turn 4 at the beginning of the race, but he's made an alternate strategy work compared to the other 2 front runners. He started with super softs and has alternated between super softs and softs all the way up until this point. TLK obviously started on pole position but couldn't hold the lead. Held the lead for a good few laps before eventually giving up to KO. He's made a very odd strategy on these medium tyres on the last stint work after starting on the soft tyres, and has kept second, even though he hasn't necessarily had the pace of Madman and KO over the course of the whole race, and KO has just been top draw. I mean, he didn't take any unnecessary risks when he lost the lead, especially he didn't let that get to his head when he lost the lead off after the first pit stops. He kept his patience when he was waiting to pass TLK for the lead, and ever since he put that second set of tyres on, he just checked out. He went to the till afterwards for a seat and checked out in the shop. As he rounds Jinsha to begin the final lap. Ride with him, stick with him all the way around as White gets another 3-second time penalty. As KO begins his final lap. Drives into the centre S's for the final time. Making sure he doesn't get any unnecessary warnings or penalties. Goes round Curve del Sol. Into Casino del Lago. turn 5, up towards the long double right of turn 6. Short, tight turn 7, the tightest corners on the track. The double apex of turn 8. Up towards the banked corner of turn 9. Using the banking a little bit to just aid his grip. Turn 10, which looks got a little more banking, but it's a lot easier to spin out there. An integer and shell, last real corner on the track. He comes up the hill. He's shown them why he's leading the championship. He extends his championship lead by 10 points. KO wins the Brazilian Grand Prix and puts one hand on the trophy going into Abu Dhabi. TLK some way down, going to John Shines out. It's a very, very solid race. Round takes second as Devil Mike and VW finish 6th, 7th and 8th and 9th. 9th will become 8th with Dave J's finish. Mando across the line in P3, very good race. Couldn't quite make that last stint work. White comes across the line in P5. We'll wait for J19 and Dave's Ghoster together. J19 comes into the last proper corner. Let's take home a 4th place finish and finish on the lead lap on him. He is a bit tight on fuel, but he is going to make it. He comes up to cross the line. And there you have it. Okay, takes the top step on the podium. Didn't quite have it all his way, didn't lead every lap, but persevered, made it work. Still won by a commanding distance. Madman's not out of it yet, although it's extremely close. He'd need Kerr to practically not finish at Abu Dhabi to win the championship, but it's not mathematically over yet. And there you have it. TLK finishes with no penalties, everybody else with. And there you have, that is the Brazilian Grand Prix. Next week you will have the F1 League with myself, Vernon, potentially SH if his arm is better by then. Will be the championship decided in that, but every race is as interesting as ever, with 2, 3, 4 cars always battling out for the win. And we hope to see you there in a week's time. Goodbye for now.